Okay, let's go ahead and answer the question. Why do men cheat? Welcome to Unified TV, where truth has no fear. Okay, so this is a question, and a lot of women, I'm sure, think they already know the answer, but we are still going to answer this question. First of all, let's go ahead and squash the narrative that all men cheat. Not all men cheat, just like not all women are hoes. I mean, we're going to talk about narratives here. So if you want to talk about all men cheating, and a guy that's battered wants to say all women are hoes, okay, you wouldn't like that label either. But let's get off that. Well, I can't speak for all men, but I can speak for what a man feels and what a man wants to feel. In most cases, not all cases, a lot of guys are completely driven by flesh. They're completely driven by what they see. A lot of times they don't put the right head into their thought process. Most men cheat because they're not made to feel like men. You're not giving a man what he needs to feel like a man. Just like women want to feel beautiful, they want to know that they're attractive. Women want to know that a man, her man in particular, is satisfied with her looks. Women need to hear that all the time. Men need to feel like men. We need to know that you need us. We need to know that you not only need us, but want us. A man needs to know he's not here just to pay the bills. A man needs to know that he is the head of the household, that he is the leader of the family. There's nothing that turns a man off more. You could talk about bad hygiene. You could talk about all these other things. Nothing turns a man off more than a woman who's trying to be the man. Now, women may not like that, but oh well. So this is the reality of the situation. Let a man be a man. Let a man take control. Let a man lead the family. And I know there's a lot of women out there say, well, he's not doing what he's supposed to do. Well, find a man who will. No one's telling you to stick around if you don't have to. If you have family, that's a totally different story. If you're married, that's a totally different story. If you have, so there's a lot of reasons why a woman doesn't have to stick around, but a lot of reasons why she should. Have you brought this up to him? If you don't feel like he's being a proper leader, there's no reason why you can't tap him on the shoulder and let him know what's going on. A lot of times, men don't realize they're coming up short. Sometimes certain things in life have to happen to show him how to find his voice, how to stand up and step up and be responsible, or to just take charge and lead. Some men don't know how to do that. So does that mean you could step out on him, talk about him with your friends, want to replace him, whatever you're doing behind his back, or even if you're emasculating him to his face? You're in his face all the time talking trash to him. But how would you feel as a woman if a man was all over you about your weight? You're spreading out. You're spreading out. You're getting a little too big. You need to put those bag of chips down. Are you crazy? So if he's doing it to help you and he says it in a respectful way, that's totally different. So why don't you do that to him? Why don't you say, you know what? I don't feel like you're leading properly. If he gets offended, then he's just too sensitive. However, the right man, a man that's trying to do the right thing and be a real man and wants to step up and do better, he may not like what you have to say, but he's going to apply it. And it's going to go better than you emasculating him. He was never made or allowed to feel like a man. In a lot of cases, that's what happens. If you're being emasculated at home all the time, talking trash to you all the time, you work 8, 10 hours and you go home and I'm not saying a woman's place is to cook, but what's wrong with cooking? If he's been at work all day and you haven't, what's wrong with cooking a meal? What's wrong with ordering something for him? What's wrong with running bath water for your man? What is wrong with that? There is nothing wrong with catering to a man, especially when he deserves it. But no, we have these women out here to say, do for me, buy me this, buy me that. What are you bringing to the table? Well, what are you bringing to the table as a woman? It goes both ways, because if the shoe were on the other foot and you needed to feel like a woman and he wasn't making you feel that way, if he wasn't telling you that you're attractive, he wasn't making you feel sexy, if he wasn't touching you at night or in the morning or in the afternoon or whenever you're alone together and you have those desires, if he wasn't giving you the proper attention that you deserve and desire, how long would it take for you to say something or step out? So it goes both ways. As a man, we have requirements. As a woman, you have requirements. In order to get your needs met, not just physically, but emotionally too, it's going to require communication. And if it's not there, things are going to progressively get worse. And eventually, someone's going to cheat, someone is going to leave, or however else things can unfold in ways that I don't even want to talk about. It happens because the energy is not in the right place. But instead of people talking about it, they do things that they shouldn't. And next thing you know, it got to a level it never had to get to. There is no excuse. However, there are reasons sometimes when you want to place these labels on dudes and all these responsibilities on dudes and all these expectations on dudes. you have to make this kind of money. You have to look this way. You have to drive this kind of car. You have to have this level of fitness. You have to achieve this certain thing by a certain age, or you're not bringing anything to the table. That's a lot of pressure on guys. I say this all the time, and people think I'm crazy. There's a lot more pressure on men than women, especially because a lot of guys don't care. Not all guys, but a lot of guys don't care what a woman looks like. He just wants a warm spot, if you know what I'm talking about. So let's be real here. It's a lot harder on men than women because a lot of guys get to that point where they just are willing to take anything just to feel good, if you know what I mean. For women, not all women are the same either, but in most cases for women, a guy has to look a certain way, no matter whatever her preference is. I'm not saying every guy has to be chiseled, but for women, they have certain preferences. A guy has to look that way, has to drive this kind of car, has to make this kind of money, has to have this kind of house or work in a certain career. There are a lot more things to check off of that list in order for a man to be eligible in a woman's eyes. So for a woman, the list should be as long, but quite honestly, it's a lot shorter when it comes to men. That's not good, but that's what it is. So at the end of the day, we all have our needs, we all have our requirements, and we all want to feel in ways we need to feel. And if someone is coming up short, it's best for you to leave and go find someone that appreciates you rather than step out. However, it does happen.